Hi and welcome. Today we're going to look at the following commands, functions and procedures: length, pause, copy, delete and insert. The GUI has been set up for you. I'm using an edit box that will allow the user to input the sentence. I'm using a button called length and I'm using two labels, and the second label will store the number of characters. Double clicking on the button called length, you notice I've declared my variable length, which is of type integer, and that will store the number of characters in my sentence. If you scroll up, I've declared a variable called sentence, which is of type string. I've declared the global section so that I can use it in more than one button. Firstly, if we return to our GUI, we need to take in the sentence that will be entered into the edit box and assign it to the variable called sentence. So sentence, control space will pick the actual variable that you've declared is assigned, and we want to take that out from our edit box. So I'm going to use edt control space. My edit box is called edit sentence dot text. So that will take in the sentence from the edit box and store it in a variable called sentence. Then I'm going to find the length of that sentence, and I'm going to store it in a variable called length, which we've declared of type integer, and length is assigned. The function that we're using is length, and all length does was it will find the number of characters in a sentence. And once again, if we go and put in our variable, close my brackets, and that will determine the number of characters and store it in length. Then I will return to my GUI. I need to output that into the label. Now I've labeled my components properly so it's easy to pick up. If I just type in lbl control space and I have the label called length, which is assigned, actually I need to use dot caption, which will output what I need to on the actual label, and I'm going to use into string int control space into string length, because length is of type integer and we want to throw it in a GUI, so we have to convert it to a string. Okay, we're ready to run this program and see if it works. If I run that, notice that there's no errors. Well done. We're going to type in a sentence, hello and howdy, and if I click on length, you'll notice we have 15 characters. You can count the number of characters. Notice the spaces all are counted as characters. We're going to close that. We now move on to programming the next button called position, where we will allow the user to enter a character in here, and it will display the position of that character in the string that has been entered. So we're going to double click on position. I've already set up the code for you. I'm just going to go through it to save time. I've declared a variable called C letter, which is of type char, pause, which is of type integer, and C letter is assigned edt position. And if we go back, this is the GUI that is called edt position. Double clicking on position, edt position dot text, and because it's a character, you say text square bracket 1, which will take in the first character. To use the pause command, pause, I've declared pause to be a type integer, and we will say pause is assigned pause, which will find the position of C letter, whatever the user types in, into our global variable sentence. And then I need to output that, so I'm using a label once again. We go to the GUI, there's my label that I'll be using to output the position of the character. Returning to the code, lbl position dot caption is assigned C letter, whatever letter the user will enter in there, plus, which is concatenating the strings, is in position, and pause, which is of type integer, that stores the position. I need to convert it to string because I'm outputting on a GUI component. If we run this program, the proof is in the pudding, and we say hello and howdy. The length of the string is 15, and we want to find out in what position is O, and we know that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, position 4, and you notice O is in position 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I counted wrong the first time. And it works like a charm. We will carry on in the next video with the rest of the buttons.